Tara here from Posh Cat Crafts. Nice of you to join me. In today's video we're going to be making up the front cover and the inside of the front cover. In our previous video we did the back cover, and the reason why we've done that first is because we needed to attach our elasticated cord that's going to act as our closure for our memory book. We're going to start with the actual front cover more so than the inside, because what we need to do is we need to hide some of our hardware workings on the back here. So once we've done the front, we can then hide what we do on the back side. Now I was going to cut the memories out. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, but we'll cut it out just in case. And I'm going to cut this out of cream card. There we go. Just an offcut. I try and keep all these little tiny offcuts because they do come in handy. My memories cut out. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of all the excess tiny bits, and that's cut perfectly. So that then is our memories. And then what I may do with this is, if I show you this one, I may just see if I can sort of lay it across our flowers like so. I might have to cut it again to make this a bit more durable. Let's cut it out of black as well. And again, that's cut perfectly. Let me just tease that out. I even like the waist. I mean, that's just a lovely shape. Okay, so then we can put them like so, and then that just will give a bit more. You'll get a little bit of a shadow, which is lovely, and it'll also strengthen it a little bit as well. Let me see there, like that. Looks really good. Okay, so we've done our memories. Oh, I've just got an electric shock. Right, to decorate our front cover, we're going to need to die cut our black cardstock with our layering die. That's the die that is directly smaller than our base page. We're also going to need to cut that same die in our pattern paper, and the pattern the pattern paper is going to hide that black cardstock underneath. It's just to give a bit more stability to our cover. Okay, so that's what we're going to need in terms of our memory book dies. Then you're going to need to cut out various flowers. Now I've cut out a range of flowers. They're all from different companies, so whatever flowers you've got in your stash, use those. Okay, I've also done some rolled flowers that I have here. Okay, so I'll put that in maybe at the end, and then you can see how we've made those. But then I've cut out the bigger flowers that I've got here in just plain cardstock. So I thought what we'll do is we'll colour them using our distress inks. I've also die cut these, and what I've used for these is the Paparazzi Infusion. And what you do with those, they're like the pixie powders. You sprinkle them onto your paper and then spritz them, and they wick out and they make these fantastic backgrounds. So I've just done a couple of those, and so that's it really. So let's get started. At this point, I would, if you're using hot glue, I would stick your hot glue gun on now, but don't leave your hot glue unattended. Okay, so the colour I've chose to use with my flowers is the Victorian Velvet. It's a lovely, it's like a pinky purpley colour. It's just one of those colours that it's my favourite. So we're going to colour these first before we shape them. So all you do is just, no particular order, just go round the edges like so. You don't need to worry about so much in the middle because that's going to be covered, so don't worry about that. But don't forget to do the backs of your flowers as well. Okay, there's no right or wrong, it's whatever works for you. So once you've coloured your flowers, what we're going to do now is we're going to shape them. Now, how I shape these particular flowers is I use my pokey tool, and what I do is I just push down in the middle of my petal. If you can see that there, it's like you kind of emboss it. So if you just push down, let me come down a bit further and then you may see it there. So if I then, you push in the middle and push out. So you start down in the middle and then you push up the petal. There we go. And okay, so that's those ones. Okay, once you've done that, what I then tend to do is I just pinch the petals together like so, and then they crease automatically then down that embossed line. And then if you get an embossing ball tool, just go around in the middle just to add a little bit more depth to it. So you need to do that with all of your flower layers. Okay, that's all our layers of flowers done. So now what we need to do is we need to get our stamens ready. Now I'm just going to use these pearl ones that I have here. Okay, there are different sorts of stamens you can get, different sized heads, so you can get round ones, whichever takes your fancy. What I tend to do is try and get them so that they're all level, if you can. It can be a little tricky, but it can be done. Doesn't matter if they are slightly uneven. Okay, then you need to get your makeshift bobby pin that you've made and just slip them in through the center and then up to the top, so they look a little bit like that. Okay, and then what we need to do is fold. So if we fold them in half, that then is going to become our center, and then the wire is going to help us. Then it is just going to slip through the holes. We've got it on now. So now we do the next layer, and then what we need to do then is we need to put a little, once we've got it up, we need then to put our glue, our hot glue on to keep the flower together. There we go, just put a bit more glue on and then push up. Okay, get it into place. You have a little bit of a window, just a wiggle window, to get them into position. So that is our one flower done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a bit of hot glue underneath those stems, like so, and then I'm going to bring them over so that they catch onto the hot glue, and then once that's dried I can then cut off our little bobby pin. Like so, and then that will be stuck. Okay, I've attached all my flowers to my front page now. As you can see, I've added, I've done another one of the gerberas in a different colour, and then I've all the rolled flowers that I'd made, I've stuck those on. I then die cut some leaves and added the leaves on the side, and then just added a few small bits of embellishment like oh, my hands are all covered in glue, sorry about that. And then I've added some diamante buttons as well, and then just this resin feather that I've used the metal, the Art Academy Prima metal wax. I've done that in white gold and the vintage silk. Okay, just to give it that sort of old worldy feel, like so. I never know what they're going to turn out like until I've actually done it. So it was quite hard to film because I don't really have a clear picture in my head of what I'm going to do until I've actually done it. So that was something I need to work on. I've then stuck our memories together, so I've just got cut one out in black and one out in cream, and then off-centered them so that you get a lovely shadow. So that's going to go on the bottom. And then what I've done is I spray painted a mini handle, and I used the Montana sprays for that. I just spray painted that it's the champagne, and then I also so this was the colour that it was, and then this is the colour that it is. It's a champagne colour. I thought it just went really well. So we're going to use, so that is going to go there, and then our handle is going to go over the top like so. Right, so how do we now get our closure on? Well, we need our book. We also need the other base page cardstock that we cut out. This is going to go on our page on the back like so. We're not going to stick this on just yet. So what we need to do is I'm going to turn this over so that I can work like that. We're going to stick this part down first. So we need to put lots of glue on this to keep it stuck. So glue all the way around. And this is the side. Okay. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to turn it onto its side like that, and then stick this down like so. So that gives me a nice flat surface to work on. Okay, bit of wiggle room. Make sure it's stuck. Okay, so that is nice and adhered. So now it's looking a lot like a mini album. Okay, you can see that there. So what we're going to do now is we are now going to, I need to measure to see where my middle point is. Now we're going to go 6, so we're going to say it is just under 6, but we're going to say that our middle is going to be roughly about 3 inches. So we're going to go 3 inches. So I need a pencil just to mark that 3-inch mark, which is just there, like so. So then this is going to go there. I'm going to use the little eyelet setter here, the little one. This is 1/8 of an inch. So let's just put that there, and then what I might do is just mark that hole. That would be better, wouldn't it, marking the hole like so. And then hopefully I've got enough. Let's take it over, and I'm hoping you can see this. Ah, there we go. And I can just then bring it down a little bit. Okay, so that's our hole made. So this then is going to go over like so. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to very gently push our little screw through, so we can just about get that through. Okay, so that's our you see, and then that's the back. Okay, so I'm now going to put our little base plate on. Hopefully that will wind on. Ah, there we go. Right, what I'm going to do before I actually put the handle on, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, and it goes on there like that. Okay, and then what I'll do is I will put some binder clips on these just to keep them, just to help it to stick. Right, then all you need to do is tighten up your handle, and there we have it, our handle. That is our closure. Now you don't have to spray paint these, it was just that I wanted to change, obviously wanted to change the colour. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stick this on here, and then that then finishes that off. I'm going to use a bit more glue. Okay. Like so, that will then stick down. So that is then basically our mini album. Okay, we're on to the inside of our front cover now. that we're going to decorate, and we're going to obviously hide this here because that is the nut that is keeping our handle on. So what you'll need to cut out your base page, okay, because this is what's going over our original page, so we can hide all those workings like so. So we're going to put that to one side because we just need to work on this. Now what I thought we would do for this last decorated page, I thought we'd do something very simple and just do a belly band, but maybe the other way around. So instead of your belly band going across, we'll go from the top to the bottom like this, and then have some extra tags that we can slot in there like this. So okay, so I thought that's what we would do. We're going to put it on here like such. So what are we going to need? We're going to need our dies and our cutting mats as well. So for the base page, we're going to need our layering die that corresponds with that page, which is that one there. So we'll need that, and we need to cut that out of our pattern paper. And for the moment that we don't need any other dies, so let me get my pattern paper that we're going to use. And I thought we'd use I've got a little bit of an offcut here, so I thought we'll use that, get that used up. We can go ahead and layer and stick this one down like that. Okay, that's all stuck down nicely. So now what we're going to do, we're going to make our belly band. Okay, so that's 7 1/4, 8 1/4. Right, so if you cut your cardstock at 8 1/4, that then gives us 1/2 inch either side to bend. And then if you make it, let's make it 2 inches, so it's 8 1/4 by 2 inches. There we go. So 8 1/4, that's there, and then we said by 2. Like so. Okay, so that should then give us enough either side. Now I'm just going to turn this over and sort of gauge it, so like that, and then I'm just going to use a bone folder and just score next to, sort of use the page edges as your guide, so that you score them like so. And there's the other one. And then if you want to reinforce those, just use your scoreboard to score down, and then your scoreboard will then make them straight as well. There we go. And then you can fold it over. And then that gives you then a nice band that we can then attach it to our page and then put our tags in there like that. So that's, we need then to do a layer for that. Yeah, well that might fit. So then I want to go and then I want to be 7 1/8. 7 1/8. That then should give me a lovely matte border. Yep, fantastic. So the measurements were, for the black band, it was 8 1/4 by 2, so 8 1/4 by 2, and then what we did was we scored, we just used the page as our guide, and we scored down using the page as our guide along there, and again along the other side, and then we just scored it using the scoreboard to just to strengthen that fold. And we then cut our layer, and we cut the layer 7 1/8 by 2 7/8. Okay, then that gave that nice even border. So we can go ahead and stick this down. There we go. Let's just go up the side, taking off the excess glue, like so. So that then is the band. So we're just going to put some double-sided tape, or if you want to PVA glue along there. I'm just going to go with the double-sided because I've got it near, and we just need to cut that off. Ooh. 1 and 2. Okay. Use the pokey tool just to take off the backing, and then before you stick it down, just position it to where you want it to be positioned, and fold, and again here at the top, and I'm just going to pull it just up slightly so that it creates a bit more of a so it's a bit more taut, is what the word I was looking for. Okay, so when we adhere this to our book, we are going, that then should lay flat. So I'm going to just put some double-sided tape on the top, and then I will put some along the bottom as well, so that would then give our initial page instant stickiness, and then we'll be able to pull this down so that then sits flush. Okay, so that then is the start. So now we need to make our tags that go inside. So we're going to be going with our tags. So we've got the layer, the matte and the layer of those ones. So put that there, and let's go with one of these. So we need the Next, so if we go, I think this one is going to be too big. Try it. Oh no, that one fits. So we use that. And this one. Okay. So that then will create that. And then with that one I will use this one here. Because I think that then will cut out the one at the back. Okay, so I've got those. Okay, so let's go with maybe that one or that one. I think that one might be too big. Yes, that one is just slightly too big. That one should be perfect. Yep. And then we need the layering die for that, which I think is that one. So that one then goes over the top, and that one fits inside. Okay, right, so let's have a try. Ooh. Okay, right, I think we've got what I'm doing. So I'm going to cut out the black cardstock first, because what we'll do is I'll cut out the base in black, then I'll cut out one layer in cream and then one layer in patterned, and then that should then give us the two sides. So you'll have a pattern paper on one side and a cream on the other, so that you can put your photographs on the pattern paper, and then on the back you could do some journaling. Take that off. Okay, I'm just going to give this a tap. Brilliant. Okay, so then that is going to go over, I'm going to go over this one like so, and then that gives you a nice effect. So that's that one. So we've done that one is for there, so that's the layering die for that. That one I haven't done yet, I've got to do that one there, so that can go there. So this one then is a layering die, so this one is to be in cream. Okay, so that's so that's then the layering die for this one. I'll just double check. Yes, so that's the layering die for that, and I just need that then out of cream as well. So that then goes over like that to create that lovely illusion, like so. So we don't need these ones now. Right, it's just this one now, so we have to find some paper that's going to fit with that one. We can start to stick our pieces together. Just some on the hand. Okay, so then that can stick onto that side. I would stick it down onto the wrong side so that because you're not going to see it, so if you stick it on the wrong side you'll have that nice side at the behind where you then put your pattern paper. So your pattern paper is then going to go on there, and it just finishes it off nicely. So let me just glue. And stick. Okay. So that's one tag done. Okay, so that's all our tags in. This tag that I did here, I made a bit of an error on it. I'd got glue all over the front of it, so I tried to wipe it off with my glue rubber and it took some of the paper off, as you can see, so I'm not going to put that into my album. But I had, if you remember, we did an extra one of these tags that we did like a tag booklet, so that one can go in there as with the other two, so that just fills that out. But the other thing I've decided to do is I'm going to do a band that goes this way. So right, I'm going to cut this, so it's going to be about 2 inches, and then this measures, look what this is measuring at. This is measuring at, well, this is 8 1/4. So 8 1/4 by 2. We've cut our strip down to 8 1/4 by 2. So it's exactly the same as the belly band here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to mark at, we're just going to score each end at 1/4 inch. So not a half an inch, not 1/4 inch, a half an inch. So score down at 1/4, turn your cardstock around and score at half an inch again. Not a, note, not 1/4, as I keep saying, half an inch. Okay, so then that is our, it's what we're going to close it with. Now I want to have one that goes over the top of the other. Let's go back here. We're going to cut, so I'm going to cut that line there. So that is, so from our scored mark we'll go so to there. So I've marked, so let's cut. Let's cut that off. Okay. Then we can fold. Okay. And then if I'm just going to take them out for a second. So that is okay that side, and that's okay that side. Right, actually that's really good fit. I folded them over and then I measured from the fold to the end here 3.5 on both of our strips. So that's going to go like so, and then that one's going to go there like so. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually round the corners. So I'm going to round my corners to 1/4 inch round using the corner chomper. 1, 2, and you just get some lovely rounded edges. 1, 2. Okay, and then this, we can stick this on and stick that on, and then we'll use our magnets, and then that will keep our tags in place. Okay, like so. There we go. With your double-sided tape, just tape the little glue strip, and remember, glue them on the inside. Okay, on your inside of the glue tab, and cut, and again on the inside like so, and cut. So that's one. So we'll stick this one on first. Okay, and I'm going to go with, sort of try and get to the centre as much as you can. Again, you will probably take a bit more care with placement than me at the minute. Okay, take the tape backing off, and then line them up again so that these are perfectly aligned like that, and stick down. There we go. To do is I'm just going to measure that and then cut our pattern paper. So 3 3/8 by 1 7/8. That is brilliant for that. Okay, we just need to chomp the corners. So 1, 2. I'm not going to chomp the other ends because they've not been chomped and they look a bit silly. So we'll chomp that side and that side. Okay, let's stick these down. I need to do 4 of these, so I'll just get these ones on first. Like so. There we go. Just get rid of that glue. Okay, especially round where the magnets are. Try and burnish down. So that's those. And hang on, I might need to take this one off. Put it this side, is upside down, and there we go. That's a bit better. Oh. There we go, hopefully get in a bit of wiggle room, wiggle wiggle. There we go. There, that's better. And then, where did the other one go? That one there. Like so. Oh, another daddy long legs. That is that, and then we just need to do the inside. So that's one side, and now the other. Okay, just take off that. And so that then is our closure, and then we can put our tags in. Now I've also got another extra tag that we made that we didn't actually use here, so that could go at the back, so we've got some extras there, and then maybe that one just to add a bit of colour, and those ones can go somewhere else, and then that all holds it in place like that. Now I have got somewhere a nice little sort of chipboard piece that came with it that we could put just on the front like that. We could maybe use that as a, we could have used that as a closure, couldn't we really? Like that, and it could have opened up. Next time, maybe. Let's put a okay, let's just turn that around. That can go on like so, and then that hides that hole. There we go. And then if we stick that on, we'll stick that on with some glue. And there, like that. So that then gives that a nice finish. Okay, so then we can lift that out and then they come out. Okay, now we're on to, oh, I'm getting a bit emotional now. This sort of there, it's coming to an end. That's really silly, isn't it? We're getting emotional because you've finished a book. So then that's going to, we're going to stick that on like so, and that then will finish that off there. So we've put our double-sided tape on already, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put, we'll need quite a bit of glue just to help it stick. So I tend to put quite a bit on, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lift off the tape I might as well do this end, at this end like that, and I'm going to just bend it over, and hopefully that will stay, and then again on this side bend it over, if I can get my, and then bend it over like so, and then that then should hopefully give us enough time to get this stuck down. Okay, so just match it up again with the bottom, and then when you're happy you can press that bit down, and press that bit down that's got the double-sided on that end, and then all you'll need to do is then just pull these ones out, and then they will automatically then adhere. Okay, and then just squeeze around this side bit like so. You may need to put again your clips just to give it that extra power to stick. I must admit I've so thoroughly enjoyed making this album with you guys. It's been so much fun. I've had you know, I didn't think I was going to enjoy making them as much as I had, because I'm quite a shy person really, so this is something that's really out of her comfort zone. So I want to say thank you to all my subscribers, new and old, especially for all the people that's left me comments. I've been so blown away by the lovely comments that people have made. Some of them have sort of brought a tear to my eye, because it's made me, you know, really appreciate that you've appreciated everything that I've sort of been trying to do here, and this being sort of my first series of videos, I'm still learning, so you know, I'm really made up. I really am. So when we come back, I've got one more video to do after this one in this series, and that will be the spine, but that won't take too long to do. So I'm going to edit this one here that we've just done and get that one uploaded hopefully this evening, and then tomorrow I will finish off with the spine, and then I've got a special surprise to tell you about, so we will do that tomorrow. As always, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, comment on my channel. Everything is very much appreciated. Links to all my social medias are in the descriptions down below. Any questions, please give me a message or leave me a comment. I do try and answer everybody's comment that they leave me, and see you on the next one. Bye. Well, I've cut all my flowers out, so this is what we're going to do. At this point, if you have a heat gun, you may want to turn it on, but we'll work on our rolled flowers first. Now, you will need an old piece of card just so that I can put my flowers onto. You'll need a quilling tool to do your rolled flowers. Now, I tend to start, it doesn't really matter where you, which way you roll them. I tend to roll upwards like that. Some people can roll underneath, but I just like to roll that way. Okay, keep it tight as you're rolling it round. Okay, like so. Then take the tool out, and then what I tend to do is just let it sort of naturally uncurl, and then I kind of lift it up like that, and I put my glue in there. Now this is where you may get gluey fingers. There we go. I'm just going to then what I do is I tend to just wind it back round. Okay, then you just need to, I just kind of shape the flowers down a little bit. There we are, so that they don't look so uniformed. And there's one flower. Okay, now we're just going to do, let's do one of these ones here. Again, just exactly the same. Just roll it round. And there we are. And again, just let it uncurl. And then put your glue on. I tend to put it on the bottom of the flower, if you can see there, and put it there, and then I kind of just roll this bit round and I kind of just hold it in place. But please be careful if you're using hot glue, because you will burn your fingers. So there's our next one. Okay. It looks a bit, I don't like them to be too neat.